Hey there, CJ Math students. Welcome to homework number 117. Go ahead and put your heading at the top of your paper. Your objective today is to be able to work with Mmmr, mean, median, mode, and range, and do it pretty fluently. So just kind of a review day of everything that we've done so far. So this is very clear here where it says copy everything except for the pictures. I'll show you the pictures when we get down to the bottom. But your paper should look like mine when you send me a picture of it later today. So here we go. First box, the mean. So copy down the definition. It is the average of a set of numbers. Copy down how to calculate it. You add them all up and then divide by how many you have. So it's two-step. And copy down what it's used for. It's used for summarizing a large set of data down to one number. So like when you look at an NBA player's average per game, I could give you every single game he's played and all the points, or I could just give you the average and you could expect, okay, I expect him to score 25 points a game. Now, it doesn't mean he's actually going to score 25 points a game, but on average, that's what he does. All right. The median. The median is the middle of the data. How do you calculate it? You order the numbers from least to greatest, and then you find the middle. And what do we use it for? It's finding the midpoint. It usually helps with outliers. So say I'm somebody that scores, 9, 10, 11, 10, 12, 8, 9, 12, 10 points a game, and then all of a sudden one game I score like 55. Well, that's going to really affect my average. And so the median might help adjust for that outlier instead and be like, no, he doesn't average, upwards of 15, 16 points a game because of that one game. He actually is more in the middle here, right? The mode. That's the value that occurs the most, most. It's not the biggest number, it's just the one that pops up the most. And how do you calculate? You just look for the one that occurs the most. And usually it's used to determine like popularity. Think voting. So like if I surveyed the class on who their favorite basketball player was, and there were 7 LeBrons to 4 Kyries to 5 Kevin Durant's, I'd say, oh, LeBron is the mode in this data set because he occurs the most, right? Lastly, we have the range. The range describes the spread of the data. We calculate it by doing the biggest number minus the smallest number. And what do we use it for? It kind of just tells us how far apart the data is. So like if, for instance, I'm talking about my 7th graders and the homework they do, and I got somebody down at 0 minutes and then I got somebody down at 100 minutes, I can't say, oh, well, the average is, I could say, the median or the middle, but I can't really say, on average, my students do this or the middle of this. I can say, some guys do 0 minutes, some days do 100. Like when you're talking about maybe one of your basketball teams, you might say a range of the ages of players that you have. We have guys that are as young as 11 and as old as 14, something like that. All right, so please make sure that all of this is on your paper. It should be copied nice and neatly up at the top. All right, so here's an example of, again, me saying I want you to copy everything. So I want you to say, number 1, age at first job, I want you to copy down those data points. And then the first thing you're always going to do when you're working with mean, median, mode, and range is order stuff from least to greatest. So as you order stuff, after you write it down, cross off what you no longer have left. So 11's gone, okay. Now I've got 13, okay, and I'll do the rest of this now. So this is everything. You'll notice everything up here got crossed off as I finished writing off my 18s. Now here's the big thing with statistics problems. You have to be super accurate. If you're off by one data point, your whole answer is off. So like when you do these problems, like you have to take the time to make sure that you have every number and that you didn't skip one. So like a good way to figure that out is counting. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 2, 14. I have 15 numbers, and then I should have 15 data points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I missed one. I go back, oh, I'm missing an 18, right? So like you have to be super specific about this stuff. Me missing that 18 would have gotten this entire problem wrong, right? So that's the first step, ordering them from least to greatest. It's easy, but it just takes a very critical eye. Next, it's find the median. So you go through and you find the middle of the data. So we've got 15 numbers. That's an odd number, so I know there's only one number in the middle. So here we go. See you later, 11. See you later, 18. 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 3 and 3. Notice how I go from one side to the other side. 4 and 4, 5 and 5, 6 and 6, 7 and 7. And I have one number left over in the middle, so my median is 16, right? That is the math that you need to show. Ordering everything from least to greatest, crossing stuff out. The mode, which one occurs the most? Well, 18 occurs, and it occurs 5 times. That's how I know it's the mode. Remember, you can have multiple modes, like if 2 numbers occurred 5 times, then those both would be the mode. You could also have no mode. If no numbers occurred more than once, then there would be no mode, right? The mean, what do we do to find the mean? We add everything up and divide by how many you have. So we already know that we're going to be dividing by 15 numbers because there were 15 data points, right? And now we're going to add them up. Here's where you can't have clumsy thumbs. Right? When I do it, I use this list of them ordered, and then I literally say it out loud as I type it in the calculator so I don't miss anything. I do it twice, and to make sure that both times I get the same exact thing. So I did 235. Now, you can decide to be lazy and only do it once, and okay, you're more likely going to be closer to getting it incorrect than if you actually double check yourself. That's what patience that these problems require. So 235 divided by 15, we have an average of 15.666, kind of all the way to 7, but we'll just say 15.666 repeated, right? And then our range is just our biggest number, which is 18, minus our smallest number, which was 11. So our range in this case is 7. And these are all years, right? So when we're talking about somebody working a job, we've got a median of 16 years. We've got a mode. Most people are 18 years old when they're working that first job. We've got a mean, an average of 15 and a half, a little bit more than years. And we got a range of like, okay, our youngest person's 11, oldest person's 18. So we got a range of 7 years, right? So your job is to do number 2, exactly like number 1, and then email me a picture of that work. And then you have 20 minutes of ST Math today. It has been a while since you've done ST Math, so please don't just do the Ed puzzle, do this, email me the picture with the code word, and then be like, all right, I'm not going to do ST Math. I am going to check. I'm going to email. Right? So that is it. Have a good one. Wash your hands. Tell somebody you love them.